we were invited by MSI to Shenzhen to take a detailed look at the production of motherboards. We were already here for a factory tour in 2019, but at that time, we visited the production of graphics cards and desktop PCs. So in this video, you will get a detailed overview over the motherboard production process while we're explaining every step along the way, from the blank PCB to the finished motherboard in the packaging. First, a few key facts about the factory here in Shenzhen. It's the larger of MSI's two factories here in China. It has a total area of 200,000 square meters, and in both production buildings, up to 1.3 million motherboards, 1 million graphics cards, and 500,000 desktop PCs are manufactured every month. That means there's a good chance your hardware was assembled here. Before we start the tour, we first have to put on anti-static clothing. Quite stylish, don't you think? Before we get to the production hall, we'll start in the warehouse. We have divided the video into chapters for you, in case you want to skip or rewatch certain parts. You can also find jump markers in the timeline to skip or repeat certain steps. Let's start in the warehouse. This is where the components that will be installed later arrive. Before the deliveries are sorted, they must first go through a quality control. If the quality isn't right, the shipment is, of course, returned to the manufacturer. The warehouse, like the production line, is divided into two sections, one for SMT components and one for DIP components. We'll start here in the SMT warehouse. Since these are MSD components, they are specially packaged to protect them from atmospheric humidity. The components are scanned by the automatic storage unit, stored inside, and, when needed, are dispensed from the back and sorted. Now, let's move on to the warehouse for the DIP components. The DIP components are unpacked at the beginning and scanned into the system using a PDA. A screen gives the warehouse staff an overview of how long production can run at the different stations with the available materials, but they decide which components to send to the production line next. Now we're getting to the part you've probably all been waiting for, the production hall. Here, various MSI motherboard models are produced on 12 different lines. That's one motherboard per line. We'll take a closer look at line A2A, where the new Z890 Tomahawk Wi-Fi is being manufactured. Production begins with the solder paste printer. This is fed with the bare PCBs. MSI designs them but has them manufactured externally, which is why we can't show you them in more detail here. The solder paste forms the basis for the subsequent SMT process. In the next step, the PCBs with solder paste land in the mounters. There, the SMT components we saw in the storage unit are automatically placed on the PCB. Only the component reels have to be changed manually. Light signals above the reels inform the employees when one needs to be replaced. The next step is called reflow soldering. You can imagine it as a long oven in which the PCB is heated. This liquefies the solder paste and bonds the SMT components to the PCB. During automatic optical inspection, it is checked whether all components have been correctly placed on the PCB. If so, it continues. If not, they are caught in the next machine. and are repaired by an employee. With that, all the SMT components have been placed on the back of the PCB, and for the next step, it's flipped over by a machine and goes back into a solder paste printer. The next stations are again mounters. However, for the front side, the PCB goes through significantly more stations than at the beginning. Here, a display also informs the employees about the availability of the individual components in the mounters. Here we also see the MSD components. And did you see it? Dozens of Z890 chipsets on a single reel. The parts for the socket must have been among the dozens of reels because it's suddenly already on the board. Now it's back to reef low soldering. This time, however, the PCB is placed on a grid, and the VRMs and RAM slots get a kind of template so that they sit straight and neat on the PCB after the soldering process. Afterward, the templates are removed. And another optical inspection of the board is performed. The boards that have no defects then land in a router, where excess material is milled off on the left and right sides. Next, it goes into the autoloader, where the circuit board is fixed for the DIP process. In the automatic placement, the DIP components from the second section of the warehouse are now mechanically inserted into the PCB. When the machine is closed, it can place one component on the PCB in about 0.8 seconds. To show us the process more closely, one of the engineers opened the machine for us. In this state, as you can see, the machine works much slower. The sound of the capacitors being placed on the PCB is somehow hypnotizing. And as we can see, not everything is automated yet. It seems that for larger components, humans are still more reliable than machines. Here, the PCIe slots are inserted by hand. To solder the DIP components, wave soldering is used instead of reef low soldering. The PCB is sprayed with a flux from below, heated, and then moves over a continuous wave of molten solder. The metal of the inserted components touches the solder, and it is drawn up the metal legs into the hole. Afterward, the PCB is cooled on the conveyor. Goes through another optical inspection and is then automatically released from the transport frame. This frame is then transported back to the autoloader by a conveyor belt. In the next station, the underside of the board is polished to remove any remaining solder paste, flux or solder. In its current state, the board is still a bit bare, but now we hopefully have a functioning motherboard. To check whether it functions correctly, it goes into a circuit tester, and if the motherboard passes here, it gets a label one station further. Motherboards that fail the test do not get a label and are sent to the repair station. Here you can see how the CPU socket is equipped with the ILM or Intel lever mechanism. In this section, main boards with labels are fitted with coolers. Those without a label are sent on to the repair station. Before the motherboards end up in a box, they must first go through a series of tests. Only then are they allowed to continue on their way to freedom. Before the I/O shield is screwed on, the motherboard goes through an inspection of the CPU socket. Once the shield is in place, the packaging begins. The board goes into the familiar bag. And the accessories are sorted into the boxes. To fold the boxes, there is this cool machine on the other side of the production hall. Once the packaging is complete, it goes into a large shipping box. This is then sealed and finally weighed. The scale is always calibrated for the respective production line. If there are any weight deviations, the boxes are checked again for complete content. If everything is correct, the motherboards are now ready for their journey and might soon end up in one of your computers. Pretty impressive, right? Do you have any questions about certain steps? Let us know. and we'll try to answer them. We hope you enjoyed this closer look into main board production. See you next time.